Welcome back. Previously, we were discussing about leverage ratios, and we discussed in detail the three ratios that comes under leverage ratios: financial leverage, operating leverage, and combined leverage. Let's discuss some of the cases that comes under leverage ratios. Next case, you are given the following data relating to a company for 2020. Net sales 20 lakhs, cost of sales 1 lakh, 12 lakhs. Remember, cost of sales will be a form of a variable cost. Operating expenses 3 lakhs, interest charges 1 lakh, and tax rate is 30%. 30% of earnings which we will be computing in this case. You are asked to find operating leverage, financial leverage, and combined leverage. So for computing operating leverage, financial leverage, and combined leverage, you need earnings before interest and tax, contribution, and earnings after tax. On the basis of details given in the question, you need to find earnings before interest and tax, earnings after tax, and contribution. So from the details given, you need to prepare an income statement so as to find contribution as well as operating profit. So first of all, you need to prepare an income statement. In the question, it is already given net sales 20 lakhs. From net sales, you need to deduct variable cost, which is otherwise known as cost of goods sold, which is known as 12 lakhs. So if you deduct 12 lakhs from 20 lakhs, you will get contribution. From contribution, you need to adjust operating expenses, which is also given in the question, 3 lakhs. So by deducting operating expenses of rupees 3 lakh from 8 lakh, you will get operating profit of rupees 5 lakhs. Operating profit is otherwise known as earnings before interest and tax. From operating profit, you need to adjust non-operating expenses. In this case, in the question, it is already given interest charges 1 lakh. So if you deduct non-operating expenses in like means 1 lakh rupees, you will get profit before tax, or otherwise known as earnings before tax, EBT. So for the computation of leverage ratios, you need to prepare or compute the income statement till this point. For the time being, you can deduct the tax percentage so as to find earnings after tax. But for the leverage ratio computation, you need not have to prepare or compute earnings after tax. You need to prepare only up to earnings before tax. In the question, the tax rate may be given, but for the computation, you need to prepare only up to profit before tax or earnings before tax. So for the time being, I am just adjusting tax rate. So if you deduct tax rate, in the question it is given 30%. 30% means 30% of profit before tax. So you will get 1,20,000. 4 lakh into 30%, you will get 1,20,000. So finally, you will get profit after tax. Remember, for the computation of leverage ratio, you need to prepare only till here this point, profit before tax. So let's find out the different ratios or different leverage ratios as per the question. First one, operating leverage. The equation is contribution divided by earnings before interest and tax, otherwise known as operating profit. We already found contribution 8 lakhs, operating profit or otherwise known as earnings before interest and tax 5 lakhs. So 8 lakh divided by 5 lakh, you will get 1.6 times. Next is financial leverage. earnings before interest and tax divided by EBT, otherwise known as operating profit divided by profit before tax. Operating profit or earnings before interest and tax 5 lakhs and profit before tax is 4 lakh. So 5 lakh divided by 4 lakh, you will get 1.25 times. And finally, combined leverage, you need to just multiply the leverages this you have found. If you multiply operating leverage with financial leverage, you will get combined leverage. It is 1.6 into 1.25, you will get 2 times. This is how you need to find the leverage ratios depending upon the details given in the question. Sometimes the detail may be directly given, sometimes the details will be given. So you need to find the necessary items that are required as per the equation. For that, sometimes you have to prepare income statement. So just go through the case. So let's discuss about some of the cases that comes under leverage ratios. Next question. XYZ Limited has the following balance sheet as shown. 3112. A balance sheet is given. Liabilities, assets. Just go through the items given in the question. Apart from a balance sheet, additional information is given. Fixed cost per annum or otherwise known as interest. It is 8 lakhs. Variable operating cost ratio is 80%. Total asset turnover ratio is 3 times and income tax is 50%. You are asked to find earning per share, operating leverage, financial leverage and combined leverage. As we have discussed earlier, in order to find the leverage ratios, you need earnings before tax, earnings before interest and tax and contribution. Since these three items are not given directly in this question, you need to prepare an income statement. So first of all, let's prepare an income statement. So for preparing in income statement, first item you require is sales. From sales, you need to deduct variable cost. In this question, there is no information regarding sales because the details given is regarding balance sheet and some additional information. And in both details, there is no information regarding the sales of that concern. We need sales to prepare an income statement. So there is no information regarding sales. But in the question, it is given that total asset turnover ratio is 3 times. Here it is given total asset turnover is 3 times. And the equation for finding total asset turnover ratio is total asset divided by net sales. So we have total asset turnover ratio and total assets. So just need to find net sales. So 3 equal to 40 divided by net sales, you will get net sales 120. So let's prepare an income statement. So we found net sales 120. From net sales, you need to deduct variable cost. In the question, it is given 80%. Variable cost is 80%. It is otherwise known as 80% of sales. So in the question, we found that sales is 120. So 80% of 120, you will get 96. So sometimes the variable cost amount may be directly given, sometimes the percentage will be given. So whenever you are given the percentage and there is any other additional information regarding variable cost, it is implied that whenever the percentage is given, it represents the variable cost will be that percentage of net sales of that concern. So in this question, variable cost is given 80%. So it is implied that variable cost is 80% of net sales. So if you deduct variable cost from net sales, you will get contribution. From contribution, you need to adjust fixed cost expenses or non-operating expenses. In this case, it is given interest on debentures 5. In the question, there is no information regarding interest on debentures. Then how we found the interest on debentures rupees 5? Because in the question, in the balance sheet, if you go through the details given, there is an item given 15% of debentures is rupees 20. And there is no other information regarding interest on debentures or anything else. So it is implied that whenever a percentage item is given, it represents either interest has to be payable or any dividend has to be paid, depends upon detail in the question. In this question, it is given 15% of debentures. 15% debentures means you need to give interest on debentures. So in the question, it is said that 15% debentures is 20. So 15% of 20, you will get 5. And remember, in the additional information, there is an information that fixed cost is 8. From fixed cost, you need to deduct interest on debentures 3. Then you will get fixed cost other than interest rupees 5. Here we took 5 instead of rupees 8 because for finding out the operating profit, you need to deduct fixed expenses from contribution. In order to find the operating profit, the fixed cost items has to be operating expenses. Here in the question already given fixed cost is 8, but within the bracket it is given that this 8 includes interest. So this fixed cost is not fixed operating expenses. From contribution, you need to deduct fixed operating expenses. So out of rupees 8, you need to deduct interest on debentures rupees 5 because interest is a non-operating expenses. So from rupees 8, you need to deduct rupees 3, so you will get rupees 5. That's how you get fixed cost other than interest on debentures rupees 5. In the question, it is given 8 and we took 5. So there will be a confusion regarding the difference in amount. The concept is, in order to get the operating profit, you need to deduct operating expenses. In the question, the given detail is fixed cost includes interest on debentures. Interest on debentures is a non-operating expenses. So you need to adjust the interest on debentures from fixed cost. So you will get operating profit 19. So remember the concept. From contribution, you need to deduct interest on fixed operating expenses. In the question, the fixed cost is given rupees 8 and the additional information it is also given that the fixed cost per annum includes interest. For the computation of contribution, you need to deduct fixed cost, mainly operating expenses. And interest on debentures is a non-operating expense. So out of fixed cost of rupees 8, you need to deduct interest on debentures 3, so you get 5. I hope you understand the concept. So now you have operating profit 19. From operating profit, you need to deduct interest on debentures rupees 3. So from operating profit, if you deduct interest on debentures, you will get profit before tax. From profit before tax, if you deduct the tax percentage which is given in the question, 50%, you will get profit after tax. So now you can find the leverage ratios because we have found the details required for finding out the various ratios: contribution, operating profit, and profit before tax. These three items are required for finding leverage ratios. So next one, the first question you are asked to find earning per share. So earning per share is profit after tax divided by number of equity shares. And we already found profit after tax. See, 8. In this question, you are asked to find earning per share apart from leverage ratios. So you need to find out profit after tax, because for finding earning per share, you need to require profit after tax. So profit after tax is 8 divided by number of equity shares, that is 1 lakh. So profit after tax is 8 lakh divided by 1 lakh. Remember, here the income statement is prepared by removing the lakhs. For the computation purpose only, we did like that. Here 8 represents 8 lakhs. So 8 lakhs divided by number of equity shares, which is already given in the question, 1 lakh. So you will get 8 per share. Next one, operating leverage. The equation, contribution divided by earnings before interest and tax. Here contribution is 24, means 24 lakhs, and earnings before interest and tax, here earnings before interest tax or operating profit is 19 or 19 lakhs. So 24 lakhs divided by 19 lakhs, you will get 1.26 times. Next one, financial leverage equation, earnings before interest and tax divided by earnings before tax. Earnings before interest and tax 19, and earnings before tax is 16. So 19 lakhs divided by 16 lakhs, you will get 1.19 times. And finally, combined leverage. As usual, just multiply the preceding two leverages, financial leverage and operating leverage, that is 1.26 into 1.19, you will get 1.50 times. There are two equations for finding combined leverage. Always familiarize the two equations. Usually for computing combined leverage, you need to prepare operating leverage as well as financial leverage. The other equation for finding the combined leverage is contribution divided by earnings before tax. Remember this equation also. Contribution divided by earnings before tax. So we already find contribution 24 lakhs and earnings before tax 16. So 24 lakhs divided by 16 lakhs, you will get 1.50 times. So just go through the case. Familiarize the income statement. Understand the various concepts that we have followed in the previous two cases. Not always all the details may not be given in the question directly. You need to prepare income statement, and according to income statement, you have to find leverage ratios. Sometimes the details may be directly given, sometimes it will not be. Depends upon details given. You need to prepare, either prepare or not. Anyway, understand the concept, what all items has to be taken and what all things has to be considered. Remember, whenever the percentage is given, means regarding the 15 percentage of debentures which we have dealt in this case. Likewise, whenever you come across that items, understand that represent interest on debentures. So remember those cases. Just go through these steps, familiarize the equations. We will discuss about the further cases in the coming session. Thank you.